Hello, welcome back to another week of They Don't Want It. I've got ex-footballers Darcy Lussick and Reni Maitua with me. Boys, how are we? How was the weekend?
Lehroy, very good, mate. Magic weekend. Plenty of footy. Kids footy. Shout out to my mate Sparkles, his little boy Ty, 3 years old. It was playing for Lapa.
Yeah.
Going to watch his first run, his first couple of tries. He scored 5 tries. No, it was special.
Yeah.
Great weekend. A man Sparkles does.
Yeah, I've got good memories of the Sparkles in Bali.
Yeah.
At the bowling alley.
The bowling alley.
You know, the tournament in the day club that time?
yeah.
Anyways, that's a story for another session.
Yeah.
How was the fast? How'd you go?
70 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get 100 hours next time. The biggest mistake I made with that fast is I trained too hard, so I was really sore. And the third night, I wanted to push through to at least 80. And because I was laying on the couch, I just couldn't. It was like food porn. It was fucking bizarre. I was like, "Oh, look at that! Look at that!" I was on my Uber Eats account, just going, "Whoa!" And then I broke. But I felt unreal.
Yeah, 70 hours is a fucking feat. I couldn't fast for more than 24, to be honest.
No, I felt soft that I didn't get to 100 hours, but that'll be the next fast.
Yeah, nice.
Les? Yeah.
Nice. Talk to me about your freaks of the week. Obviously a massive week with Magic Round, a few really solid performances. I'll start with you, Das.
I've got the Warriors fullback. Sorry if I say this wrong. Tane
Tuiapiki.
Yeah, mate, he's electric. He's so good. He's so good on his feet. And just the confidence that he's come in with. It seems like the kids these days when they come in, like it's like they've been there for years. Like they're not scared of anything. So that was a massive win from the Warriors. Like they really needed that. And after that first try and the first set, I thought, oh no, this could be anything here. But man, they were outstanding. So
and without SJ as well, it's a huge win for the Wars. Up the Wars, eh?
Yeah, well, I think obviously they've got a lot of the kids coming through. They've got a big nursery there. So
no Freddie this week.
I think he's playing this week.
No, like last week. I mean, when he Wars, no Freddie.
No Freddie.
To make a difference, does it?
Probably, yeah. Well, that's what I said. So you got to come back, and if you don't win, you'll probably be punted. So. No, I think he's back this week, so they've got a lot of injuries, the Wires, at the moment. But,
what about you, Ren? Who's your freak of the week this week?
David Armstrong. He's outstanding. I heard during the call that he came from park footy, so he might have been like the third string fullback at Newcastle. He scores a hat trick. I think he scored, 5 tries since he's come in. They've had 4 wins in a row. Kid from Moree. Man, can you imagine how proud his parents are? Playing park footy at the start of the year, and now he's in a 4-game win streak for the Knights. Who's KP?
I think they said Lee from in the UK tried to get him there.
The old Lee Centurions, my old club. They're called the Lee Leopards now, so I think they were originally trying to sign him, and obviously hanging around has paid dividends not only for him but for the club as well. They've really found that nugget.
Yeah, well, he started the year in the trials on the wing, and everyone was raving about him. He was the next big thing coming out of Newcastle, sort of thing, and it went quiet for a bit, obviously with KP coming in and starting the year quite well. But I guess he's really put a name forward for himself now, and they've been searching for this winger, obviously, to replace Dom Young. When KP comes back, it's going to be very hard to take a guy like David Armstrong out of the side. Don't you reckon?
He's outstanding. He's a traditional kind of fullback. He's a good support player through the middle. Doesn't have the big carries out of the backfield or in yardage, but his support play is just what every traditional fullback needs to be good at. And to find the line the way he is, I could just only imagine how proud his family is. Yeah,
nice. Let's touch on last night. Obviously, you got to have a bit of an interview with Sutto.
Yeah. Look, Sutto is more than a friend. He's more family. He's more like blood. We've been family friends since we were, 5-6 years old. We've spent the last 20 out of 30 Christmases together. Our families are really close. His parents are just auntie and uncle to me. So to get him here in the chair and have a chat, he's kind of shy, Sut. Like he's very cruisy and just sort of just laid back. To see him open up and be a little bit vulnerable and talk a bit about his career. I'm really happy that he did that. I think I did encourage him before. I said, look, you're going to need to put your profile out there. You've got a good story. You're the most capped South player. You'd be good doing luncheons and getting out there for talks, doing Q&As. There's money to be made outside of what are you doing at South as a coach. So to see him in the chair and on the podcast, I can't wait for it to drop.
Yeah, I know. Monday. Comes out next Monday. So very, very keen for that. And Darcy obviously had an interview with James Magnuson as well. How did that go?
Yeah, it was. I went in sort of not knowing sort of anything about the enhanced games, which is a big part of, and he also touched on his career, the ups and downs of his career, and man, I was pretty blown away. Like it was, he's been on a crazy ride, and this enhanced games, it's interesting. Like it's gonna blow up, I think, and it'd be interesting to see.
Surely you've got to start in deadlifting or the clean and jerk or something.
Clean and jerk, mate. No way. No, I don't do those. I'll just do the beach weights.
Yeah, fair enough. Same.
Bench press, curls.
Well, I thought when he came in, I thought that you must have put him in touch with your guy because he was looking fucking huge.
Nice one, Leroy. You look.
Here we go. What's it? 3 minutes in, already having a crack.
I would never, Darcy.
What would you go in?
Yeah, what would you go in?
What would I go in? What do you mean?
If you're going to be in the enhanced games, you look like a Bulgarian weightlifter.
Do I?
No.
Might have known.
Well, do you know they're doing MMA, enhanced MMA in it?
Really?
Can you imagine getting
that.
ground and pounded by a bloke on testosterone and EPO?
Hey,
imagine.
Well, most of them were on it before the testing
Yeah,
anyway.
I know.
I think most of them are back on it now. The USADA's been removed, but
Like, call me a bit barbaric, but I can't wait to just watch that. That's going to be fucking wild. Bring it on.
you're not well, mate.
Well, we know that.
Well, obviously that has already come out on the podcast this Monday, so you'll be able to access that on YouTube or Spotify. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and click the link. Obviously, it'll be in the description. And yeah, great interviews, guys. Great interviews.
Thanks, Leroy.
Thanks, Les.
That was fun. I can't wait for it to come out.
No worries.
Let's talk about Fifita. Obviously, backflipped on the Roosters to go to the Titans.
Yeah, look, he's a young kid, and when you've got obviously Des in your ear, you've got Roosters that want you, they're pulling you in different directions. You've got Penrith, you've got the media talking. By all reports, the deal was kind of done until he went back to the Gold Coast. You know, we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago that, you know, the strong clubs don't put clauses in.
Yeah.
They don't need to.
Yeah.
They're a powerful club. Now, from all reports, Nick heard there was a bit of doubt in him going to the Roosters, and he pulled it straight away. You either want to be a Rooster or you don't. You either want to be a Panther or you don't. You want to be a Dog or you don't. So it's good. It's good, better for the game anyway, to keep him up in Queensland, keep him on the Gold Coast, you know, keep him under Des. And, yeah.
What are your thoughts, Stas?
Well, I think it's probably worked out best for everyone, hasn't it? So grass isn't always greener. Like, you know, he would have got sold the big dream down here, Sydney. But, you know, he's living the life up there in the Goldie. Yeah, a bit of a stronger club, but he has the chance to sort of help really turn that club around up there. So, yeah, I'm happy that he stayed.
You'd have to think the priority for the Roosters now is to definitely re-sign Angus Crichton now. That is a must.
If I'm Angus, like, you know, you're thinking, is Angus thinking now, well, they didn't want me then, what am I, like the second choice? You know what I mean? Like, you have a little bit of ego in it, I reckon. Like, you know, he's killing
in the
it at the
driver's
moment.
seat.
Yeah.
He's completely in the driver's seat. Like, the Roosters are backed into a corner now where he can take his time with his decision. He's playing well. He'll go and play Origin now. And he'll use that leverage to say, hang on, you didn't want me.
Yeah.
You know, you went and spoke to Dave without speaking to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take my time. I'm going to explore my options. And he's probably going to put another 100 grand, 150 grand onto his contract. So he's completely in the driver's seat, Angus Crichton. This has worked out perfectly for him.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be so good to see what his move is. Obviously, hopefully the Roosters, for their sake, can re-sign him, because if they lose out on Fifita and then they lose out on Angus
their
Crichton...
sake. It's their bad luck, really. They rolled the dice and they stuffed up there. So, you know, we talk about loyalty in the game. You got to look after your players too. They should have at least had the conversation with him. Now they've put a bee in his bonnet, and he's in complete control of this situation.
Well, a bit of a domino effect here as well. They've actually told Sania Tupanua that he can look elsewhere as well.
Probably because they know Angus is going to say, no, I want more money.
Yeah.
So they've completely sort of stuffed themselves here.
Yeah.
They were that confident. But having said that, look, the Roosters always have a plan B, C, D, E. They wouldn't want to lose Angus. We could use him at the Dogs.
Do you think they go for another star player, or it's just back the juniors now for the Roosters?
Well, what other star players are out there on the market at back row?
Not really that many.
Yeah.
Not really that
There
many.
is a lot of kids that have come through this year that like debutants in the halves and just popped up here and there. So I think if some players that get their opportunity, we might see a few more stars.
Yep.
You know, because I watched their sheep all this year, just the dogs, and those kids were massive, like as big as first
They
graders.
seem to be bigger and bigger every year, don't they?
Massive. Like, remember back in the day when we played, you'd always come across like one or two big guys. You know, now it's every week. Every week there's big packs. Everyone's 6'5", 6'6".
How do you think we felt at Manly in the under 17s and 18s when we go out to Penrith, Parramatta, Bulldogs?
Yeah.
They start yahooing in the warm-up. You think, I've made a big mistake getting on the M5 out here.
And then
Get me back to the beaches.
But then you see how big their hearts are when you think them as well. So that was,
Now, a bit of a wild card to throw you away. Victor Radley's been named in the back row this week. He's been named on an edge. They've put Nafa'u White into 13. Is that a play for the Roosters in the future to have, Radley transition into an edge player?
I don't think so, personally. I think he gets through. He's got that real work rate in the middle, tightens them up there in the middle. He'll get the job done on the edge, but I just think that he's probably a bit wasted out on an edge.
Ren?
Yeah, you want someone with good leg speed. He will do a job defensively. He's very sound in his defence. I question maybe his leg speed. Really threatening inside the 3-man and pulling their edges apart. Yeah, because I would back myself as a half that I could get off Victor and defend the outside guys if Victor didn't get the ball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, those Fifitas where you've got to hold and stay square and you really engage because this guy's got good leg speed, he's big, he's strong. It makes it harder for your half to get off and help his edge defence. With Radley, I'd back myself a bit more defensively to be able to get off and help my edge defence.
Yeah.
But he will do a job.
Yeah, well, Nat Butcher's the guy that unfortunately goes to reserve grade as well, which is a pretty big move for the Roosters. I mean, defensively, he's been a rock, making 50 tackles a week.
He scored 2 tries against the Dragons, or 3 tries, or was it 2?
He's a solid player, Nat.
Anzac Day? Yeah, he's solid. They've got a lot of solid players. What they're probably lacking is maybe that strike back rower outside of Crichton. Another strike back rower. Tupanua's a strange one for me. I think he's...
Well, even against the Warriors last year in his return game, there was a really solid game for him where he came off the bench, played a bit more of a middle role, and I think that version of Tupanua suits him better.
Yeah, he just goes about his business, like
solid player.
Solid player, strong, good leg speed. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's see what direction the Roosters do go in, and if they do back the juniors, or obviously they do go out and sign the next star player. But again, you made a great point. Who is there to go and sign in terms of stars next year? Brad Arthur, obviously the big news of the week. He's been sacked from the Parramatta Eels. I know that you have strong feelings about this one.
I don't have really strong feelings, but I had Brad in 2014 when he first came to the club. After that year we had with Ricky where we got the wooden spoon. And look, Brad has left that club in a lot better shape than when he got there. Like it was a bit of a mess when he got there. I think he's been good, but I guess there's always comes a time when a player or a coach, it's time to move on. Results-driven business. Probably didn't get the results that he wanted, but I just think that it was a bit almost disrespectful to Brad. Look, there's no easy way to sack someone, but then for the board and the CEO to come out and say that they've been chasing Wayne Bennett for 18 days. While telling Brad that, he's safe. I understand that, why would they come out and say that? Is it because they want the fans and everyone to get on their side and make it look, they look good? But at the end of the day, they didn't even get Wayne. So it's a bit of a strange one for me, but, now you have to turn to, well, who's a better alternative than Brad? Who are they going to go after now?
I have no idea. I find the whole situation strange.
Yeah, myself. There's no established coaches out there at the moment who are available. There's no real high-profile coaches. There's no coaches with some real runs on the board. Is there any up-and-coming, exciting sort of coaches? I know we said Josh Hannay maybe, but...
Well, I got the short list here, taking my job again, hey?
Yeah, go on.
The short list is Jason Rolls, Josh Hannay, Sam Burgess, Madge Maguire, Jason Demetrio, Dean Young, or Michael Ennis.
Well, you could put a line for probably 6 of them. Like Sam Burgess isn't going to go there. Maguire's not going to go there. But
I think they need someone like Maguire.
Yeah.
To be fair. just on the Brad thing, like I've known Brad since 2012, 2011, and he definitely has turned that club around. I think he's done everything he could in that 11-year tenure. Great guy, disciplined, created a good culture. Got him to a grand final. Riddled with injuries this year, and I think last year was a bit of a poor year. Losing your key playmaker is massive. The way that they disrespected him and sacked him yesterday, it was bizarre. It sort of gives them time, though, as a club for the rest of the year to find who they want. It's given they're not in panic stations where it's round 20 or 25 and, we've got the off-season to find someone. Now they're going to they've probably put a line through this year and just thought, okay, this is a write-off year. Let's find the right coach, make the right decision. That's going to be a long-term coach for this club. It's a proud club. Haven't had much success in the last. I think the last premiership was 50 years ago.
Yeah,
thereabouts.
Yeah, I've got a name for you. Brian McDermott.
I know Brian. I know. I haven't been coached by him, but he's definitely got the resume.
Yep. And I watched Andrew Johns give him a big rap the other day on his show, doing good things up there. I had him at Toronto. Different bit different ideas to the standard NRL. Say his defense is a lot different, but that could be an option.
So that list, I would say Madge would be a perfect fit.
Yep.
Holbrook. See, I play with Titsy. Oh, I better not call him Titsy, but I play with Holbrook back at the Dogs. Very intelligent, so smart. He brought a style of rugby league to the Titans that was a Super League style of play. So he was shifting the ball in yardage. So they'll start, everyone gets back behind the ball, and then they'll do two passes. They'll get to the edges. So you're working the defence. Like most defences are not passive. You put on line speed, but the line compresses and you put pressure on. Whereas the Titans started throwing the ball. But the flip side of that is that if you don't complete or you don't execute, you drop the ball, you got to be able to defend it.
Yeah.
And that's a Super League style of play. I know Lee Centurions did that with Paul Rowley. I love that style, but you've got to be able to execute. And if you do drop the ball, you've got to be able to defend your line. And he sort of had that balance between shifting the ball and then playing a traditional NRL style. And then obviously things didn't go too well. He didn't have that caliber of player to suit that style of play. If he does go to Parra, he's got a lot more experience in the forwards. He's got Lomax going there. He's got Moses. I'd like Holbrook to be one of the front runners. McDermott. Madge would be perfect. I think Madge would kind of be a similar style to Brad, though.
Yeah,
that sort of militant style and just... I'm not sure if they need that kind of thing. Mick Ennis, I can't see him being a head coach.
Do you think that it'd be worthwhile getting him if they do go for a Madge or one of those like a Holbrook or something like that, just to get him as an assistant for a few years and then maybe at some stage get him as a head coach, Ennis?
He's very intelligent when it comes to footy. I just don't know if he wants to do it. Yeah. He gets to call games. He's probably on a good wicket financially with Fox. Why would you want that stress?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, unless you're getting $1 million a year, it's a stress that you don't want.
So just quickly on Brad as well, we talked about obviously them not having too much success and, obviously spoke about that he still has turned the club around quite a bit. In the last 10 years that he's been there, they've been in finals 5 times and they've been in one grand final. So it's not the worst, I guess, record for a team. Obviously they are a top side in this competition. You expect them to be a top side. They want the premiership.
That's what they want, the premiership. And then once they had bad results this year and not so good last year, I think they just thought, let's not drag this out any longer. Let's look to see what's out there, our members, our investors, whoever are involved in the club. The Parra have had a messy board for fucking years.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what the board's like now, but it was a mess when I was there. It was a mess before I got there. Maybe it is a lot more stable now.
Well, the quote from the board was, the view of the board and the CEO that the progress of our NRL team has stalled. Our goal is to win premierships and it's time for the club to go in a new direction.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's pretty much the same sort of statement every club puts out. But he got a good payout, right?
Yeah.
1.5 mil or something?
Pretty decent payout.
Just go to Bali.
Yeah.
Brad, put your feet up, have a couple of years off. You've done amazing for that club. You did your best. Go and sip on some cocktails and bintangs in Bali.
The thing is that Parra is like that club is thriving out there. Like their leagues club compared to when I went out there a couple of weeks ago. Their leagues club compared to when we were there, it's like even bigger. The stadium, they had the best, probably one of the best stadiums in the comp. Their ground, the facilities are outstanding. Like when we were there, we'll train up at the local
The Richie Benner.
the Richie Benner Oval, and we were doing our video in the local fucking change rooms.
Yeah,
like
and that was only 4 years after they made a grand final.
Yeah,
you know,
it was like, I was just thinking, what have I done here? I thought Manly facilities were bad, and then I went to that one. Holy shit. We had to pick up dog shit before we trained. It was awful, but it was so bad.
on the Richie.
Yeah. I don't know why we come last that year, but I wish Brad all the best.
Now, there is rumours now as well that they're going to try and get Lomax there a year early now that Brad's gone.
What do you mean a year? Like now?
Get him in here now. Get him into Parra now.
Why would you want to go there now? I don't.
You're just going from bad to worse,
Yeah.
really.
But I mean, but Gutho's going to be out for the next 5 weeks still.
It ain't happening. Flano won't let it happen.
No
and
way
Lomax
that's
won't
happening.
want to finish up at the Dragons like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Can't see it
They're
happening.
clutching at straws, the old Eels.
Oh, they are, aren't they? Yeah, look, obviously it was a little bit too soon, like with Brad Arthur getting sacked from that club. You could have at least waited to the end of the year, especially with Moses coming back.
Yeah, but I think, like, at the same time, like, if they knew they were going to get rid of him, well, you got to do it now, and then they can put it out there searching for a new head coach. Everyone move on. You know. It's like you break up with a girlfriend, but you say, "Hey, do you want to live together for the next 6 months?" You can bring blokes over and stuff like that, and I'll just sit here. You know, it don't work, Les.
Yes.
Great analogy, mate.
like that
Great
one?
analogy.
Very good.
Thought it was good from you.
Fuck.
All right. Bunker. Obviously, 2 calls on the weekend that stood out to me, and we'll talk about it. Obviously, one that we were very adamant about in the chat was the Brian Kelly try. Ren, talk to me through this one.
Well, they went up and they awarded it. I didn't think there was enough evidence to say that there was a knock on. I believe that you still have benefit of the doubt. I thought there was enough benefit to outweigh the doubt and allow that try. I didn't see evidence where I saw his hand separate from the ball. Again, it's not a 50-50. I just think he should have been awarded the try. Very unlucky. And when they slow it down,
Yeah.
hey, Darcy?
Yes. You know, when the couple of thousand frames a second or whatever the technical term for it is, but like it's all happening so quick. But you're going to find something. But I thought he had control. Yeah, the ball might move a little bit, but what do we know? Ren?
Yeah, well, there was exactly.
Annesley said it's a try, so it's a try.
Good old GA. I thought he was in his sack by now. Yeah, look, that was rough. Unlucky.
Big effort. Like they were fight. The Gold Coast, they're like there's some fight in them.
Yeah.
Like you can tell now they're typical Des Hasler team. Like they come in and sort of, if they're down, you can never ride them out. It's like when we used to play the Dogs, that 2012, 13, 14, like they would just keep coming and coming. You thought they were dead, they keep coming and coming. But he's definitely turning that club around slowly.
Yeah, for sure. And then, what are you laughing at?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you actually think that, Les?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Ewan Aiken, obviously the no try there. I thought it should have been a try. I mean, yes, Mark Nichols was technically in the way, but he was going past, and Seyfarth still got to Ewan Aiken, grabbed him, was able to get there and potentially make a tackle. I think in that sort of situation, you just got to let it go.
You just contradicted yourself. He said technically he was still there, and that's within the rule. He can't be there.
I mean, what I meant was
I know what
technically he should have.
But Mark Nichols shouldn't be there either. And if we're going to be consistent with our rules and with our bunkers, he shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Regardless, I agree with you. It should. Like, I don't agree with the actual no try. Like it should have been a try. But Mark, if you're going to go down to the letter of the law and be consistent and keep everyone happy, Mark Nichols needs to get out of the way.
You agree?
I didn't see it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, stuff the Tigers, mate. Who watches the Tigers? Let's talk a little bit of Origin, but first, obviously three massive injuries now for Origin in terms of how our sides were structured. First one being for New South Wales, Bradman Best, hamstring. It's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer. It's a huge loss for New South Wales.
Another hamstring. Well,
Hectic.
Can't believe how many of these this year, but like he was playing well. I think he would have probably made the team, especially a centre. But now it's just, we're losing a lot of good players from Origin now, aren't we? Munster, Cleary, Bradman.
Here's what
Turbo.
I think. I think the NRL, considering what's going on now with all these big names, like there's a lot of salary cap on the sideline, especially for Origin. Like you'll never lose the crowds of Origin. Everyone will always go to an Origin game. What you might lose, though, is the viewers. Like, those on-the-fence kind of viewers where they go, I like Origin, but is he playing? Oh, no, he's out. No, I'm going to give it a miss. I've got fucking, I don't know, there's Friends reruns on. I'm going to watch them instead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the NRL need to probably do a proper investigation, whether it be 12 months, 24 months, with doctors, sports scientists, physios, go through all the data, everything from the rule changes to the workload. Are they doing enough? Are they not? Are they doing too much? Are they not doing enough? And just because you can't afford to have that much salary cap on the sideline, especially in Origin. There needs to be like an independent investigation to see what's going on. Check, meet with the bloody greenkeepers and see what the grass they're using and how much they're watering it. Just when there's so much money being invested into rugby league now, these are the steps you need to take. Yeah. To find out why these injuries are happening. Now it could be just a spate of bad luck, and we could be just having one of those seasons where everyone's getting injured. But the amount of people, like our stars, are all out.
Yeah, you sort of have the same sentiment there.
Yep.
I was sort of surprised as well, since they've got all this data around, workload and stuff like that. Like even for Jersey Flegg. So my PE teacher when I was in Year 12 last year, he was the coach for Jersey Flegg. Yep. And even the data that they were collecting on their players and injuries and stuff like that is just unreal. Like a full-on Google sheet of every single drill that they had done and players that had gone down with injury, recovery times, nutrition plans. It's like
every club's independent, right? So I don't know if they want to share that that information. But if the NRL makes people or clubs disclose that information, then they can all get to the bottom of it and try and keep their best players on the field. Like it's in the club's best interest to find out what's going on. Obviously, the game's getting a lot faster. If you watch the game now, you'll notice that a lot more players are standing in the tackle. So they're almost bracing for impact, spreading their legs. So as soon as they call held, they're pretty much like dumping the ball. It's almost like touch. Yeah. The game's faster and faster and faster and faster. So these soft tissue damage injuries are going to happen. Wet pitch, hard pitch, training pitch. Like I used to hate playing at Brookie because Des would let the grass grow. Yeah. It was like literally in warm-up, your legs were gone. Yeah. Just thinking, why are we cut the grass? Yeah. But that was what Des used to do. Yeah. So there has to be something to do with the pitch. Obviously, people are talking about the boots, the rule change. So get an independent group, invest into these people to investigate what's going on with our players in general. It doesn't just have to be the star players, but unfortunately, all our stars are going down.
And it's interesting because you said last week, obviously since we had a bunch of wet weather, it was probably contributing that way as well. But at Magic Ground, and I don't know, I haven't gone down and felt the grass over in Brisbane, but it looked like a relatively dry track as well. So it's interesting what could be causing all of these injuries.
Dude, what happened in England? I can't remember, Das, because I remember when it was cold, we'd train on the 4G or the 5G, and then sometimes we'd train on the soft grass. Yeah. Like, did you find more injuries going over there? Because those wet weather fields,
but
like cow paddocks.
The thing with our training over there, it's nothing like the training here. True. Really, that's what I found. I found when you get between the hard and the soft over there, that's what sort of would play with my back and stuff like that.
Yeah, true. I remember now too. Yeah,
but it's just like they don't give a shit over there. They couldn't. You train in a car park sometime. I remember one time we were training in the snow, but it was like There was like nearly knee deep snow, and I was thinking, what are we getting out of this?
Yeah.
But
they'd have more science around, because I remember going onto the 4G pitches and I get like shin splints and bad back. So it definitely have something to do with the pitch and the game getting fast.
Explain it in lamest terms. What's a 4G?
4G is just an artificial field.
Yeah,
it's real fun to fall over on too, like just because it's got these little rubber.
Yeah, like little black.
In
rubber
between
pellets,
the fake grass.
Did I tell you guys I played for Toronto? We had a 4G pitch there.
Really?
They still owe me money, Toronto. Anyways,
it's not like we talk about it every week, mate.
Hopefully next month.
What a guy! He looked after me.
Good.
Munster, obviously a huge out for Queensland as well. Like talking about injuries, what do you think? I'll ask you first.
Yep.
What do you think's a bigger loss for State of Origin? Munster for Queensland or Nathan Cleary for New South Wales?
Cleary for New South Wales.
Yeah.
You the same?
I concur, Les. Yep.
Why do you think that?
I think they've just got more strike in their side. I just think you've got...
So what, Cherry Evans?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we don't even know who we've got in the halves at the moment. But and Cleary hasn't really stamped his authority on Origin yet. But I think that's been... We've just kind of been second fiddle in the halves compared to Queensland for a long time. So I think with DCE there, Harry Grant, Ben Hunt, they can still fill that void. Whereas we're scratching for halves.
Do you think in the past maybe of such a big rotation of players around, Cleary might have affected him in Origin?
Yeah,
whereas
combinations.
In, say, Origin, you know, in Queensland, you're always getting Hunt, Harry Grant, Cherry, Munster.
Yeah. He's created those combinations over a long period. We seem to have. We've had Cleary Luai, Cleary Moses, Cleary. Who else is there?
Whiten's been in there a bit.
Whiten, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't
Moses
probably
Whiten
created that combination.
Different hookers.
Yeah. Different hookers, yeah. But look, that injury that he got and the pain he was in, like that osteitis pubis. Yeah, it's a typical AFL injury. Yeah. I had it in the when was the World Cup? 2013, 2014 World Cup for the Samoa team. I remember going into camp and we did a lot of fitness the first week before we travelled, and I was just getting this sharp pain. It was sharp pain and was like, and you kind of like, oh, what's that? You know, like you're down in that area too. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So like I kind of knew what he was going through, but probably, not. He's probably a lot worse than mine. And then we played the test and we kicked down. It would have been about 15 minutes into the game. We kicked downfield and I was running down the field and it felt like someone come up with a knife and stabbed me straight in the stomach. My hips collapsed. Oh. And I was like, what was that? I tried to run again. Hips collapsed again. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. Went for scans, everything, through the whole test tour. And no one could pick up on what it was until I came home. I had like 2 hernias. I had tears, had a double groin reconstruction. So he's in for I don't think they can manage that. To just see him like grab his groin the way he did and the pain he was in.
So
looked like he got shot.
Is it groin?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing as groin or is it a different spot?
It was kind of, it's like around your pubic bone kind of thing, like, and it's a horrible injury. So I could relate somewhat. I can't see him coming back, especially being in that much pain.
Yeah. I've done
8 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I've done groin before and it's like, that just looks 10 times worse. 10 times worse.
And was that playing footy?
It was literally playing touch footy on the it was playing touch footy on the beach. No, it was at Bondi.
Oh, Coogee Bay Hotel.
Does this sort of affect with Munster obviously being out? Does this affect Melbourne's run going into the rest of the year?
How can it not? He's the best 5'8" in the comp.
Yeah,
and thankfully they get Hughes back. Can they do it without Munster? Possibly.
Yeah.
Harry Grant was outstanding.
He's a freak.
He was outstanding. I know Parra was struggling, but he was clinical in his dummy half plays and just kept pulling it apart through the middle. If you can get the Melbourne Storm on the front foot like that, it's going to make a half who gets
Yeah.
half that comes into the side. It's job a lot easier.
Yeah, I agree. But Tyron Wishart coming into the side was amazing.
You really like this Tyron Wishart.
Yeah.
I do. He's a freak. He's an absolute
freak.
gun. He's
His
a gun.
dad was a freak.
Did you watch Melbourne on the weekend?
I did watch him on the weekend.
How good was he?
He was good.
He was.
Freak.
I wouldn't say he's a freak.
Oh, I think he's a freak.
No, he's strong.
Yeah.
His running
strong.
game's electric.
Looks a lot like his father.
Really, really good. And obviously Grant Anderson obviously came in and played a bit of 5'8". He's a winger.
And
Yeah, killed it. The number 18 that came in obviously
Yep.
late off the bench.
Yep.
And Munster came off, they chucked him into the halves and just looked like it was...
Remus Smith was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that Will, but what's his is a winger? Warbrick?
Will Warbrick, yeah.
He's a
he
freak.
showed some turn of
Yeah.
speed. He's got like that.
What an athlete.
He's got that Unco style,
Yeah.
like long strength.
Yeah.
Oh, should I say
Yeah.
that? Yeah, anyway. It's out
Said
there
it
now.
now.
Yeah. They always keep finding. They just always find them, don't they? That fullback, the Samoan. Was he Samoan?
Who's that?
Fullback kid.
So Farlongo,
yeah.
yes. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he's outstanding.
Pride
Yeah,
of Samoa.
Farlongo.
He's a freak.
Man, he was
Everyone's a freak down there.
he was sitting in reserve grade.
Yeah.
Because of Paps, but now he's got his opportunity. Have you seen his highlights on YouTube?
Yeah. That goes back to as well, like he knows that he's stuck behind a lot of players there. He could go to pretty much any other NRL team, but he's happy to stay down there, biding his time, you know?
Yep.
Let me ask you this, going back to Penrith and Cleary, do you think the Panthers are a top 4 side without Cleary by the end of the year?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll get in there?
Yeah, well, they only lost their first game without him. He was missing a few games.
But even in that stretch just before he came back the first time, there was it just looked a lot clunkier. There was a lot more errors, a lot more unstructured.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's Snyder. Is it
Yeah.
Snyder? Is he still playing Reggie's?
No, so what they've actually Snyder's playing Regis
Did he get
at the
named
moment.
today?
No, it's Cole that's been in there at the moment, and Luai's been playing halfback.
J. Cole.
Jack Cole played in the World Club Challenge as well, off the bench, killed it.
I still think they're up there. They're up there, but like if they want to win, they need Cleary firing.
Cole's
They
in
don't
there
win if
again.
They don't have him firing.
Well, they didn't win last year without him firing in the last 18 minutes.
Schneider not in the reserves. There might be an injury there.
Well, he got taken out the other week in reserve grade.
Yeah.
That kick pressure.
Wait, what did that kid get for who put that kick pressure on? Did he get anything?
For Schneider, I
Yeah,
don't
and
watch
then
the
ended up
New South Wales Cup.
Oh,
Get
well,
his
you're too
knee.
good for the cup.
Too good for the Cup, mate.
Oh wow! Okay.
I mean, you guys are too busy for the Cup to watch actual rugby league, so...
We need to sort this kid out, mate.
Yeah.
Should be across all grades.
The sheep ball, jersey flag.
Oh,
Park footy.
well, I'll start watching. I'll start watching all those when you guys start watching more NRL.
Oh, that was good for me.
That was good.
Well done.
Yeah, I've had a front seat before.
Connor Watson obviously out as well. Throat injury. He's fractured his cartilage in his throat.
Would that be called your larynx? Your Larry?
Larry.
Lazar.
I've
Yeah.
certainly thrown in a couple of Larrys. Yeah, he would have played Origin. I reckon. He was
a chance.
Oh, I
He
reckon
was
he was
close.
there. Yeah.
He's been playing good. He's had a bit of a bad run, hasn't he? In the with the injuries over the
Well,
years.
that knee injury that he was out for the off season with, he pretty much did the same thing as Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah.
It's hectic.
Yeah.
His recovery from that, and then for him to. You're making fun of me today. You got it out for me. Fucking hell.
Hectic.
Can't say a word.
you're right.
But yeah, no, just insane. Like his road to recovery, and then obviously to get injured again and miss out on Origin.
Yeah, well, a few weeks. See how
Yeah,
he
he'll be
goes.
right.
And for him to get into that conversation too after such a huge injury in the off season.
Yeah, he won't be having much conversation now with the torn leg.
You told me not to make jokes, and now
Sorry, mate.
Oh, this
Sounds
is turned into a comedy show.
Jesus Christ. Let's talk about the actual Origin teams. Darce, you go unchanged pretty much going into this week. No changes for you.
No.
Perfect. Nice and easy. Reni,
Yes.
Ramian comes in this week. into
Ramian
centres.
right centre. I'm going to stick with Lomax.
Yep.
I'm going to stick with Lomax. Critter get to left centre.
Yep.
And To'o.
Yep.
Cody comes in 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
And I've got either Uppy starting or McKinnon starting.
Gun to head.
One or the other.
What game plan do you like better? McInnes to go through the tough yards to start?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because he's a bit more creative, Uppy. So if he comes on, obviously 25 minutes in. So I'd go McInnes start, bring Uppy on off the bench after about 25.
Don't mind that at all. I've got McInnes off the bench just because I think that even though you do get the good tough first 20 minutes with McInnes in there if you start him and then Uppy a bit of spark off the bench, I think McInnes is probably going to come on first into lock forward and play a bit of a roaming role, and then I think he'll go into hooker after that, and Appy will come off around the 40 to 50, 60
Who
mark.
have we got at lock?
Yoey.
He's an 80-minute player, though.
He does it easy.
He don't...
Well, even just into the forwards, McInnes, just as a bit of more mobile
I
forward.
got something. You see McInnes' head after a normal NRL game? Could you imagine an after Origin? Like, seriously?
He's battered.
Like,
Speaking
he puts
of-
his head into it. Could you imagine how excited he's going to get at an Origin game?
He'd have no teeth.
You've no
He hasn't got
teeth,
many at
and
the
he'll have at
moment.
least 40 stitches.
And that's what we love. He'll be like...
Yeah. Start him. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see some blood.
Yeah.
You're a sicko, mate.
I know I am.
Fuck, so no other changes other than that? Keeping it pretty similar?
No. I'm a little bit concerned about having two debutants on the right edge in Lomax and Ramian. Just...
Penrith combinations on the left.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to keep Ramian. He plays on the right. Who was the other winger option? Suoli'i. That's another.
Yeah.
That's it's toss of the coin between Suoli'i and Lomax for me. It still just brings in another debutant, so it's a bit concerning on the edge.
Well, Darcy's got Addo Carr, one of your dogs. Do you reckon he's a sniff?
Yep. Yeah, if you want, he always turns up for New South Wales.
Yeah.
He turns up, but I think there's wingers that are playing better.
Yeah.
Lomax, Suoli'i.
Yep.
Even though he's playing in the centres, you can shift him out in the wing.
Now, we didn't discuss this pre-recording, but obviously Dean Mariner, you picked him last week, did a bit of research. He's a Kiwi.
Yeah, you should have done the
Born in
research
Auckland.
before the show.
You should have done the research before picking him, mate.
You're the host, mate.
Anyway, who's your replacement? Who comes in?
Coates.
Coatesy?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. I think that's the guaranteed option. Obviously, other options include Murray Taulagi, who played quite well for the North Queensland on the weekend.
Yeah, I like him.
And
Yeah,
then
he's a good player.
Gagai, obviously always a sniff as well.
Yeah, Coates will get the spot.
Perfect. I want to get your thoughts on
6.
this change. I've got Stefano Utsukamanu starting. I've got Gerbo out. Jake Trbojevic out. I'm not putting him in my side.
Okay. Good for
What are your thoughts?
No, I'm leaving him there.
Leaving him there?
Yeah.
I just think you need a bit more of a mobile park. That's the sort of game plan you're looking for.
Yeah, but is Stefano? Is he gonna like Gerbo? He'll make 50 tackles and he'll keep going, stiffen that middle right up. Yeah, his attack isn't as probably. He hasn't got much punch in his attack at the moment. He's more sort of ball playing, but you know what you're going to get out of him, 100% effort. Stefano going to give you that?
Stefano, obviously very good in second phase play. He's got a good offloading game. Again, mobile sort of pack. And, Yoey's can lock down the middle in terms of that ball playing lock forward. His defence is quite good.
So you're going to start Stefano?
I'd start Stefano in the front row, yeah. Okay. And then my bench is pretty much the same. McInnes, Mitch Barnett, Liam Martin, Terrell May. It's probably the way I'm going to go.
Well, I wish you all the best with it.
And then obviously the change for Queensland I've got here is Jermaine Hopgood coming in to the 17 for Kurt. I had Kurt Mann last week, but I think Jermaine's just going to handle the contact in the middle a little bit better. And I mean, you get what you get with Kurt Mann, other than obviously him playing every other position on the planet. Jermaine Hopgood can play every position in the forwards. His ball playing is great. Got a second phase play. He's got a great offloading game, and just defensively rock solid.
Yeah, I like that, Les.
You like that one? Perfect.
Well said.
Being nice to me now. That's nice. Origin bolters. Let's talk about some bolters.
Hang on. Are we
Yeah.
going to talk about 6, Munster?
True. Munster, yes. Obviously Munster out. Yeah. Who are we thinking for the number 6? Is it Dearden?
The obvious choice you said was Dearden.
Yeah, I think so. I think that game he played last year, the year before, I thought he was great.
Do you think that Sam Walker or Ezra Mem are a sniff still, or do you think Dearden's locked in?
Dearden is a great player. He's been there. He's done it. He's strong. He'll get the job done. However, Ezra Mann brings me to the edge of my seat. I want to see him play in Origin. I'd love to see Dearden. If Dearden's there, look, he's a great player. But Ezra's just got that edge of your seat kind of reaction when he gets the ball. Like, what's he going to do?
You'd be a bit
And that's
nervous
exciting
coming
for
up
him.
against him, wouldn't you? A bit of broken play, fatigue. Once a bit of fatigue gets into the game.
So that's why I want to see Ezra playing.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, you get from Ezra what you would have gotten from Munster in terms of the guy you probably don't want to come up against, a guy that can win you a game with one crazy play.
Correct.
So yeah, look, it's a bit of a conversation.
Well, what about this? Ben Hunt.
Mm.
Could he go into the halves? Hunt and Cherry?
Do you want to disrupt that hooker 1-2 punch they've got going at the moment? I don't know.
You could still put him in there and just put Ezra or Dearden on the bench. It just changes the rotation a little bit.
Forget me. Don't worry about it.
No, it's a
No, I like it. I think that's good.
Yeah, fucking put Ben Hunt in.
Put him into your team right now.
No, I just think because he's obviously does he enjoy playing hooker now? But I guess for Origin he's going to play. He'll be more than happy, and he's always probably man of the match for Queensland, isn't he?
I think the only reason he's playing in the halves in first grade is because he's at the Dragons. I think if he was at the top 8 side, he'd be a hooker. I don't know about you, what you guys think, but
I agree. I think it's very. You haven't seen it much, have you? A half move to hooker and then excel at hooker.
Mm.
You know, I can't really think of too many. I know Lachlan Croker has.
Jeremy Marshall-King at the Dolphins.
Yeah, he's going good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually the halves are not really big on tackling, but I thought he's good.
Yeah. So yeah, look, I think it's definitely an option. I don't know if it's the option they go for, but yeah, Ben Hunt's definitely an option there for the 6. Who would your 14 be if you had Ben Hunt in the halves?
That's a good question. Who's out there?
Would you go Ezra at 14?
I think if you're going to put Ezra, you got to start him. You know. And then,
so would you have Deeds at 14 playing a bit of 9, and then he can go on to Rome a little bit as well?
Yeah, but then again, you know, is he a hooker? Dearden?
You could play 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the body shape for it. Little stocky.
Yeah. No, I think you know what. Coming back to think of it, I think leave Ben Hunt where he is.
Yeah.
And they get one of the specialist halves in there. Even though Hunt is a specialist half, but I think Dearden, Mam, like you said, Mam's got that exciting thing about him.
What direction would you go for, Ren, if Ben Hunt was in the halves for 14?
Dearden.
Would you go Deeds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mind it. Origin bolters. Let's go through these. I'm going to throw a few names at you. You tell me how likely you think they are of making the Origin side. Now, I don't know if he's had an injury on the weekend. He did come off a little bit early and a little bit ginger. But Tyson Frizzell.
No,
I think he's had his time.
Hudson Young, Canberra.
Yes. Chance.
Yeah?
Tough. Good leg speed.
Yep.
He's very tinny. He just gets those tries that not many people get. You know, like the ball always seems to bounce towards him. He probably wouldn't have been happy with his Origin performance last year, maybe.
Yeah.
But I rate him highly. I rate him very highly. He's a great player. He's Origin.
Yep.
He's Origin. He'd fit into that New South Wales team perfectly. So
I think on that left edge he'd be so good, especially if you put in a Burton or a Luai, depending on how you go. Cody Walker just kicks off on that left edge. He'd be a freak.
Yep.
So good off the ground. Tony Staggs.
Chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chance for you.
Yep.
Will Penasini from Parramatta.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Has talent.
Yeah, he's a talent.
He's a talent,
I think
not
there's
yet.
a bit too many in front of him just at this stage.
And I think last week wasn't the performance he needed to sort of put him.
They're not going too well, are they, Parra?
Bit of a smoky for you. Isaiah Katoa, Dolphins.
For who?
For New South Wales.
Is he eligible?
Yep.
Is he?
Yep.
Fuck, he kept that one dark, didn't he? Yeah, for sure.
He's maturity, like as a 20-year-old.
Yeah, he's playing very simple style.
Yeah.
He's brought Nicarima into career best form as well.
Wayne's done wonders for him.
Yeah. He's a player of the future. Are you sure? that
Yeah.
He's going to
He's sure
100% eligible. 100% eligible.
Are you sure?
Eligible.
Double checked, triple checked.
eligible.
Eligible. Whatever. Tomato.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
definitely a player of the future. That's exciting to know.
That's good.
Would you bring him into the squad this year just to be around the boys?
Absolutely.
Oh, good
Yeah, I'll
call,
bring him
Les.
into the squad for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
because
call.
you've got Cleary. If Cleary goes down, but Nicho's playing well as well.
Yeah.
But if he's the future of New South Wales, you start bringing him around the team now.
Next guy I want to talk about is Blake Brayley from Cronulla, the number 9 there.
Tough.
Yeah.
creative.
You do a job.
Plays
Do a
80
job.
minutes every week too.
Yeah.
So he can handle himself.
He'd be in the mix.
Jacob Saifidi from Newcastle.
Yep, he's been there.
Yep.
Yeah. Bit of a wild card for you, and a few experts on SEN and stuff like that have been chucking him in their sides. Tom Hazelton, Cronulla.
Yep. Yeah. I
he the
actually
front
said
rower?
that during the week. Yeah.
Bald
The bald
front.
fella?
Yeah.
Looks like
I-
he's 50.
Yeah.
He goes good.
He scored about 5 tries.
How
Yeah.
many tries has he scored?
You know what?
Well, he scored 5, I think, this season.
Yeah,
5 or
6.
Oh,
I actually
yeah.
said that I said it after the game. I said, mate, he'd be.
Yeah.
He's hat's in the ring.
Where
Yeah.
did he come from?
No,
I
I think he's been a
I think he's a
Cronulla
Sharks junior.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it looks.
Don't quote me
he's
on
good.
that.
He's been a
do
bit of
some
a cult
research.
hero. Bit of a
Yeah.
cult hero down
Yeah,
there.
but not only that, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's running good lines, and he's actually got a bit of a step and a bit of
Yeah.
swerve. Like if there's a bolter and then it just comes out of nowhere,
Yeah,
and he
it's
gets
him.
picked, I'm still happy.
He's always one, isn't it?
He's always
Hey,
one.
Ren, I've got a question for you. Why do you think that people are still doubting Nicho Hynes for the halfback job?
I was having this conversation with, I think, Mace. I don't know what it is, and I don't want to, like, I think I'm a huge fan,
Yeah.
but I just, for some reason, I just find that he might be just one of those elite club players.
Right. Yes.
I just have, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel that way. But
Do you
I'm
think
not
it's because of his performance last year in the Origin?
No, nothing to do
Yeah.
with that. I don't know what it is. I don't see him dominating an Origin for some reason. I don't know why, and I want him to prove me wrong. And I never would shit on a player like him. He's outstanding, but I'm not sold on the Origin half, or even at a 6. Like I'd almost go for someone. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this though, and this might be a little bit controversial, but I think the way that he plays both sides of the field, I think he does that way better than what Cleary does. I think Cleary is much better just on the right, whereas I think Hynes can play both sides really well. And if depending on who you pick at 6, depending on how they go as well, he can obviously come in support and run both sides of the park.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, he's outstanding. He's a great player. I just don't know it. I just need to be sold more
Yeah.
to say, yeah, he's an elite, the top of the elite
Yep.
in Origin.
We'll touch on Queensland quickly. Got a few guys that I want to bring up. The first one, Brisbane Broncos, Corey Jensen. The other front rower starts with Payne Haas.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
has been super consistent.
Yep.
And if you're looking to put in another front rower, you know, obviously you got a few smokies like your Christian Welsh's, you know, Jermaine Hopgood, who I've got in there at the moment. I'd say Felice Kafusi is a smoky. I wouldn't say he's guaranteed. You know, if you need another front row forward in there, I think that he's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah,
Do you agree?
fair point.
Yeah. Xavier Savage from Canberra.
Yep. Yeah, well, he's quick.
Yeah.
I don't like his urgency around the ball though. When they kick him behind him, I've seen him a lack of urgency to get to the ball. It's cost him Canberra a couple of tries actually. But having said that, like Queensland, give him a Queensland jersey, they perform.
Yeah.
He's got genuine speed. Like when you're a threat, he runs strong too. Like he'll get you some good meters, get you a quick play of the ball. Might be just a little bit immature for Origin,
And then obviously we talked about him before, but Murray Taulagi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Yeah. Do you think he's
He's as
that
big
far
as
behind Coates, or
no.
like either one gets
He's
picked? You don't.
fucking massive too. He's as big as the back rowers. Like he's a huge winger.
Yeah.
That's when you're in a battlefield position, like he'll get you on the front foot.
Yeah, totally. All right, lads. Well, let's get straight into the tips. Beery, good to have you back for another week, brother.
Boys, it's always a pleasure, never a chore. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, my segment on this show is to find the funniest moment of the round. Now, with all due respect, this round wasn't that funny, but I've got to actually, sometimes you've got to create your own fun. Now, this won't be in the actual episode. They're going to have to edit it in. We were live on air, and what I want you to do is I want you to just show this moment. I came late, obviously, to today's episode, and I brought a special guest with me. I want you to flash back just to a reaction of one of my co-hosts here.
Thanks, Lehroy.
Thanks, Les.
That was fun. I can't wait for it to come out.
No worries. Let's talk about Fifita. Obviously, backflipped on the Roosters to go to the Titans. What do we?
Yeah, it was last
Huge.
week. That, it was a bizarre sort of twist of fate, and
Yep.
so he's ripped the contract. But it's good for the game. It's good for Gold Coast that they've kept him up there.
Yeah, I agree. It's great for the Titans. He's such a marquee player for them, and what he can do for your Titans side.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's been outstanding, but I think the person that's in the driver's seat here is what the fuck is going on?
Jamie, I want to bring you on, my friend. I want to bring you on. Now, I've just got a quick question for you, my friend. Come sit up here with me, my brother. Now, Darcy, as we were live on air, my bro, was there something something funny, mate?
You just threw me off, Beery. You just threw me off.
Because I was just sitting there in the background and we just couldn't work out what was funny. But look, here we are. So let's get into obviously this week's tip.
Let's go, Jamie. Let's go.
Let's go, my brother.
All right, round 12. Let's get into it. Dogs and Dragons. What are we going for, Beery?
Mate, I reckon the Dogs are a special this week.
You going for the Dogs as well, mate?
Yeah, I'll go for the Dogs this week.
Perfect.
Good work, Jim.
Dogs.
Yeah, I can't back against my Dogs. They were disappointing last week. They couldn't ice the game. They're desperate. They need to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. Dogs, Cowboys and Tigers. Ren, I'll start with you this time.
Up there, Cowboys are back in the winning circle.
Yeah.
Only just, though. They're still struggling. Tigers are struggling even more, so I'll go the Cows.
Yep.
Cowboys.
Cowboys? Beery?
I'm going the Cowboys 13 plus.
Cowboys?
I'll go the Tigers because everyone else is the Cowboys.
Love that. Love a roughie. Love a roughie. I'm going to go the Cows. Seagulls and Melbourne. What are we going for here?
Oh, Melbourne.
Yeah, I'm Melbourne. I'm with Jamie, 100%.
Melbourne.
I'm going to go Manly at home.
I don't mind Manly at home. I'm
You know
going to go
what?
for Melbourne.
Put me out for Manly, actually.
Got to back your up club, mate.
Brookie.
Perfect. I'm going to go Melbourne. Raiders and Roosters. What are we thinking?
I think Roosters. You'd be the same, Jamie.
Yeah, Roosters, yep.
Roosters as well? Yes.
I'm going to go Canberra. I'm surprised. I shouldn't have backed against them last week when the 94 Canberra side was in the crowd. I didn't know it was their old boys' day.
Ricky would have
otherwise-
had them right up for that.
Oh, mate, 94
imagine?
Canberra team. Jesus, that was my second favourite team. Anyway, so I'm going to go. I'm going to go Canberra.
Canberra? Nah, I have to go the Roosters. They're in red hot form.
Red hot form. They got beat last week.
They're still in pretty decent form, mate. They're still looking good.
Okay.
Hey, fuck, you've been after me this week. Sharks and Panthers, Reni.
I'm going Sharkies.
Sharkies?
I'm staying on the ride. Yeah, Sharkies.
Look, I've doubted the Sharks all year, but I'm on the Sharks train now. I think they're the real deal.
I've got to go Sharkies. I think Nicho Hynes is playing for an origin spot, really. Rabbitohs Eels. What are we thinking?
I reckon the Rabbitohs. I reckon they'll have a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Rabbitohs aren't winning.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, Eels?
Eels, yeah.
Eels?
Eels.
Yeah, perfect.
What are you going, Les?
I am going to go Eels.
Holy hell.
Can't go
How
South.
solid are you?
Mate,
South is your team.
I've been up every single week. I haven't gone the Rabbits. So I'm going.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. That's probably
No,
why I'm
that's
down, because I
fair,
go Parra and Warriors.
Yep. Broncos and Titans. What are we thinking?
Broncos are special.
Yeah.
Broncos, yep.
Yep.
Bronx.
Bronx.
Broncos. Yep.
Struggling
I
to
was
get your
didn't
words
know.
out
I was in between. Broncos.
there. Broncos. Warriors and Dolphins.
Warriors.
Yeah, over there, I'll have to go Warriors.
I thought the Wires were good last week beating Penrith, and I know the Dolphins are on, but I just think that might be a bit of a shift in their season this week coming. Obviously, I think they'll bounce back
Yeah.
and have a good game.
Gone Warriors as well.
So who you going?
I'm going the Warriors.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. I agree with you, Beery, though. I think that the Warriors have really had a bounce back. I think that you're going to get a lot of confidence beating a side like Panthers, regardless of if Cleary's out. So,
Yeah,
up the Wars.
up the Wires.
What's your special for this week, Beery?
I've got a 3-leg multi for this week. If I was to have a bet, the multi is the Wires to win, the Cowboys 13 plus, which I've tipped every week. They're due to get one, but and the Bulldogs as well. That's my 3-leg multi.
You got a special for us, mate?
He'll go the same as me, probably the opposite.
I'll go Dolphins
Dolphins.
and Hammer with a double.
Oh,
I like it. Darcy will be gone. Better of the week, mate.
Yeah, my bet of the week this week. Just a nice, easy 2-legger to get the punters home. Warriors head-to-head, Parra head-to-head.
Perfect.
No, I've gone Canberra with the start. Dom Young, anytime try scorer.
Mm-hmm.
And my second game, I've gone Brisbane head-to-head with Dean Mariner to
Perfect.
score anytime.
Perfect. I'm keeping it simple again this week. I'm going Broncos, Warriors, and Roosters, all head-to-heads. Can't fail, although I did fail last week, so hopefully we don't fail again this week. But yeah, good to have you on for another week, lads.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Good to meet you, mate.
Thanks for having me.
See you next week.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.